So I came here, and I'm going to walk around here. I'm making a little film today, and I had lunch, and I had a couple of beers to go on my lunch, and I pull up here to park, kind of in a shade, and I've never been to this little cemetery before, so I'm going to come here and make a little video, just walk around a little bit. And the first tombstone, and not to make light of the dead, as they say, but I don't drink a lot. I had a couple of beers, but I pull up here, and the first tombstone I see is not only beers, but Hopper. Okay? So I just had to share that. I know it's interesting, strange, but all right, look out for the video. A lot of these are newer grave sites up here, and I will be going up here where the older grave sites are, and I'll be making a video, pretty much making a video about my day of just kind of tooling around here. And I always like to come to some cemeteries and walk around, so watch out for that. My YouTube channel is Abnormal Alabama on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Enjoy your weekend. I'm gonna try to enjoy mine. A potato salad, coleslaw, 2 chicken breasts, and of course, cerveza. Chilling out here.
Let's see if it'll close.
Alright, I've never been here, and this is only really a few minutes, 15 minutes or so from where I live. This is the Wells grave. This is kind of grown up here. Older section. Bosworth. These are older. This looks like this stone was put here more recently, but 1938 and 1936, they died within 2 years. Less than 2 years from each other. And this is fenced in. Somebody braced that up. Is that 1896? Yeah, 1896. Fence was erected in 1896 in memory of Parthenia E. Griffin and Richard Jones Griffin. Wow. According to that, they're saying that this was erected. This fence has been up since 18. That's unbelievable. Inconceivably unbelievable. I say it's been painted a few times, and I'm sure over the years there's been some repairs to it, but I bet you some of that's pretty original. They have coated the paint on it. You can see how thick some of that was. Unbelievable. Needs some repairs now. Sure does. I'll go in here and look at this. The gate is open, so see if this will open up. Yeah, no issue. But boy, I tell you what, it's in bad repair now. All right, so there is Richard Jones. He died in 1942, 1942, at rest. Big difference in the way what they used to put on the stones. It was erected in 1896. Richard Jones Griffin, I don't know when, there's her stone there, was erected 1896. He didn't die until 1942. He lived close to 100 years. And well, it's hard to see hers. I can't make it out. He must have erected it initially or something. Clearly should have erected in 1896. And of course, then again, infant mortality. There's a child's grave back here. It's not mentioned. I should start carrying. There's a way to read those, but I should start carrying some paper and lead pencil with me. There you go. Unbelievable. This was braced up at some point with, that's metal, it's not PVC. But somebody had braced that up. Look how thick that is, how many times it's been, look how thick that is, that paint. But the front two sections were braced up like that. Anyway, wow. (1916), 1949, 47. Percy Griffin's 1889 March. And then here's 1939 and 2011. Charles, I guess, is still alive. Charles must be still alive. I'm going to pick this up. The wind blew that over. See if I can kind of put that back. Not wanting to go, is it? There we go. And I don't know why they have bleach there. But this has been weathered a little bit. And for some reason we got a couple of gallons of bleach in there. One of them is empty. The other one is full, even though it's been open. It's pretty much full. So I don't know what's going on. I assumed it has something to do with Charles, but we got two wreaths there that have been very weathered. And on this side of it, of course, a couple of dead plants. But that one is not as weathered. That's pretty fresh looking. The Griffins. And this is where Barbara Jay's laid to rest. And I guess Charles is still alive. This one's very interesting. And it's, there's no stone per se on it. There's these wooden crosses that are all zip tied on there, and then there's a tree stump. You've got three crosses here. This is a like something you get at Home Depot or something, a newer fence around here, and a very small gate. I'm not going to try to walk in there, but you can open it right there and go in. But then they've got three crosses wooden, just laying there. They're not even tied together. Those 3 crosses just laying there. And this one, of course, is another one zip tied. No indication, no clue as to who is buried here. But, yeah. No markings. Well, there is a stone there. It's covered over without getting in there. Yeah, there is a stone in the ground there, but can't see it. And it's common to see benches of some sort placed around a grave like that. This is Minnie May, wife of William Guy, born 1876, died 1918. "42 years old? Is that right, 42? Yep. Walked this planet for 42 years, or at least if she started walking at a year, she'd been, say, walking there for 41 years. Okay, this looks like a lot of little children's graves back here in the corner. This looks to be a little fresher right there. These behind it, that's Jesse Wilson, 1918 to 1987, would have been 70, 69, or 71 years, 69 years. Alta Mae Wilson, 1921 to 76. And then this is the whole Wilson plot. 54 years of age. Died the year I was born, 1954. And Nathan, 54 years. Walked, breathed, loved, hated, worked, all the above. In that span of time in the early part of the 20th century. Really brings to mind the reality of life. So there's a series of little stones and little, looks like little graves all the way through here. Mary Frances, 1929 to 33 it looks like. So there's a lot of Griffins. These got to be more than one generation of the Griffins. The husband is George Marcus Sr. But Griffins. That's Mary Frances Griffin Marcus. So there was a Griffin that married a Marcus. 63 years of age when she died. Really makes you feel the value of life, considering that I'm 66, and you see these people that went over there 42 and whatnot. Time is precious, people. Time is precious. The Griffins, if they could speak from their graves. Here's more Griffins. 1897 to 1982. Mother and father. Some of the original Griffins in this area, I guess. James Griffin. 85 to 31 is 25. And 30 is 35. 25, 50, 55, 56 years old. Died young. 1931, died very young. She was born 1897, Bessie Crawford Griffin. 82, 85 years of age. died the same month that she was born. And here's a little Martha Griffin. It only has the date of March 28th, 1926. That usually would indicate, especially when it's such a small grave, that they were born and died the same day. This is definitely Griffin territory. In my father's house are many mansions. 1912. That's when this person was last alive. 1912. Ames and Martha, 1855, born almost 100 years before I was born, to 1932. Wow. Fascinating. And there's another one of those stones that says, in my father's house are many mansions. Died 1905. Born over 100 years before I was born. And this one is Phoebe Lacey. Is that 1858 to 1950? They lived a long life. 92 years later. I have no idea what that's about there. I walk back over here. I like the older sections. Don't really, the newer sections I don't do a lot of, but these older sections are fascinating to me. The architecture they put into the way they did the tombs, the graves. Jasper Meredith, 1861 and 1857, 1 year old. And Jasper N. Meredith, 29? Is that right? 29 years old. I'm going to track this back then. They cut this tree down because I guess it was trying to intrude upon that grave there. A couple of those. And a couple more here. This one's just laid right on the ground. Right there. Oh, there's something to be read here. 1858. Almost. They died almost 100 years before I was born. 94 years. Is that right? Before I was born, in the same month that I was born, 100 years, almost 100 years later, they died earlier, December 14th, 1858. It's not a huge graveyard. 1950, they were buried. Emma over there died 4 years before I was born. People, it's not about resting in peace. Wake up. It should be live in peace. Josephine, 2 years before I was born. You see how they put back then asleep in Jesus. Absolutely asleep in Jesus. Asleep in Jesus, 1951. 3 years before I was born. So there you go, people. It's real. The inescapable is real. There you go. Put the little stuffed animal back on the grave. Vivian was born and died in 1920, 2 days old. Again, asleep in Jesus. Because they were kind of a little bit more tuned in to what the Bible was saying there than people tend to be today. And here's looks like some more graves, probably of little children. This is up here is Alice Faye, 60 years of age, 6 years younger than me. And August, the second, less than a year ago, Alice Faye was alive, just like you and I. That's the reality. For reference, that was Keystone Cemetery, this neighborhood here. This is a very interesting, and I'll show you the environment this is in. First of all, privacy fence, but this is kind of like just in a neighborhood here. But anyway, it's kind of propped open. And then there's this little graveyard here. It's interesting to say the least. Looks like a fence torn down over there. But let's see. 2010, 2003. Adams. $1986. Yeah. 1990. Fairly new graves. Take a quick walk up here. Deacon James, 2005. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because it's kind of in an interesting area. So, it's called Hidden. Is it hidden? It's hidden. Wow. Okay, as far as it goes. $2020. Freshly. Okay. Get out of breath. A lot of hills and valleys. I need to do a lot of walking. But there you have it. Right in this neighborhood. Right behind some apartments. And across the street from some houses. Behind this little privacy fence. And there must be some graves here that are unmarked. Because they have all these sunken places. Yep. Okay. There you go. Another hidden